The first voice you hear every morning shouldn't be the world's. It should be your own, because the words you speak to yourself before the world speaks to you become your reality. Every morning you wake up with a choice to be passive in your own story or to speak life into your soul. Before the chaos of the day begins, before the doubts creep in, before anyone else has a chance to define you, you must define yourself. The most powerful transformation begins not with action, but with intention. And that intention is set by the words you declare to yourself when the sun rises. These aren't just affirmations, they are anchors. Reminders of who you truly are beneath the noise, beyond the fear, and above the distractions. Start each day by telling yourself these 9 powerful truths. And you won't just survive the day, you'll command it. Number 1, I am not my past. I am the architect of my future. Each new sunrise brings a blank slate. Refuse to let yesterday's failures, regrets, or pain chain you to a version of yourself you've outgrown. Today, you build forward. I am not my past. I am the architect of my future. These words carry the weight of rebirth, a declaration that whatever has been does not define what will be. Too often, we allow the echoes of our past to chain us to old versions of ourselves. Mistakes we made, people who hurt us, opportunities we missed, chances we didn't take. But today, we must stand in the truth that the past is not a life sentence, it is a lesson. The events that once broke you were never meant to become your identity. They were chapters, not the title of your story. You are not your trauma. You are not your failures. You are not the person you were when you didn't know better. Growth means refusing to let your history hold the pen to your destiny. You get to decide the blueprint now. You get to redesign the structure of your life with stronger foundations, clearer purpose, and intentional direction. And no, it doesn't mean pretending your past didn't happen. It means choosing to use it as fuel instead of a cage. The architect of the future sees vision, not limitation. The architect sees space where others see ruins. You are the builder. Every morning you wake up with a new brick in your hand, made of your choices, your thoughts, your actions. What you construct is entirely up to you. The pain of the past may whisper doubt, but your inner voice must roar louder. I decide what happens next. Because every breakthrough begins with one radical decision: to stop looking backward and start designing forward. You must stop rehearsing old wounds and start scripting new wins. You must stop measuring your worth by what went wrong and begin measuring your power by what you're willing to rise from. Your future is not a continuation of yesterday unless you choose to keep reliving it. And if no one ever told you, you are allowed to start again. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now. That regret you carry, it doesn't get to ride with you unless you invite it. That label someone gave you, it doesn't belong to the builder you are becoming. And the fear of failing again, it's just a sign that you're dreaming bigger this time. As the architect of your future, you must be bold enough to draw plans others don't understand. You must be brave enough to build without permission. You must be relentless enough to keep going when the structure shakes, knowing that every masterpiece begins with a mess. This is your permission slip to create again, to imagine again, to believe again, to rewrite every lie with a louder truth. I am not my past. I am the architect of my future. And when that truth becomes your foundation, nothing from yesterday will have the power to limit the masterpiece you're building today. Number 2, my peace is my power and I protect it like treasure is not just a feel-good affirmation, is a spiritual boundary, a personal law, a declaration that you understand the sacred value of your internal world. In a noisy, chaotic, hypersoniated world that constantly pulls your attention in 1,000 directions, peace is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. And make no mistake, your peace is the source of your strength. It is the calm in your mind that gives you clarity, the stillness in your spirit that sharpens your discernment, the quiet in your soul that makes your intuition louder than the world's distractions. When you protect your peace, you're not being selfish, you're being strategic. Because a person who is at peace cannot be manipulated. A person at peace doesn't react, they respond. They don't rush, they don't cling, they attract. And when you realize how powerful your peace truly is, you stop giving unrestricted access to anyone or anything that threatens it. Not every call needs to be answered, not every opinion needs a response. Not every invitation deserves your presence. You begin to understand that silence can be a power move, that walking away is a form of wisdom, and that not explaining yourself is a sign of deep self-trust. You don't argue to prove your worth. You don't defend your boundaries. You just hold them quietly, confidently, consistently. And as you do, something beautiful begins to happen. The wrong people start to fall away, and the right people start to recognize your value. Because when you operate from peace, you no longer tolerate emotional chaos, draining conversations, or energy that feels misaligned. You realize your nervous system is not meant to live in survival mode, constantly reacting to drama or dysfunction. You stop confusing intensity with love, busyness with importance, or noise with truth. Instead, you begin choosing what feeds your peace over what flatters your ego. You say no, not because you're rude, but because your peace matters more than people-pleasing. You pause before responding, not because you're weak, but because you value inner control over impulsive reactions. And most of all, you learn to sit with yourself, in your own presence, without fear, without distraction, and find that you are whole, even in the quiet. Unshakable power. So today and every day, treat your peace like treasure. Lock it away from those who haven't earned the right to touch it. Guard it from the world's urgency, its expectations, its noise. Because when your peace is intact, your vision becomes clearer, your voice becomes stronger, and your life begins to align not by force, but by frequency. And that frequency, it's the sound of someone who knows exactly who they are and refuses to lower their vibration for anything less. Remind yourself daily, my peace is my power, and I protect it like treasure. Because once you lose your peace, you lose your power. But once you claim it back, there's nothing and no one that can shake you. Number 3. I don't chase, I attract what aligns with my worth. I don't chase, I attract what aligns with my worth is a powerful declaration of energetic self-respect, a shift from desperation to dignity, from scarcity to sovereignty. In a world that teaches you to hustle for love, beg for attention, compete for recognition, and chase validation, this mindset is a quiet rebellion. It says, I know who I am, and I don't need to pursue what was never meant for me. Chasing implies lack, implies that what you desire is running away from you, and that you must abandon yourself in pursuit of something or someone outside of you. But the truth is, when you chase, you signal to the universe that you do not believe you are enough on your own, that you must reach, stretch, or shrink to be chosen. But attraction, real, magnetic, soul-aligned attraction, comes not from effort, but from embodiment. You do not attract by wanting. You attract by becoming. You attract what matches your vibration, your standards, your beliefs about your own value. And that means the inner work must come first. The moment you stop trying to convince the world of your worth and start living in a way that reflects it, everything begins to shift. You stop settling for halfway love. You stop begging for opportunities. You stop forcing connections. Instead, you stand still, rooted in your truth, and let what is aligned gravitate towards you. This doesn't mean you do nothing. It means your energy does the heavy lifting. You still take inspired action, but it's no longer driven by fear or lack. It's guided by confidence and clarity. You no longer run after people who don't see you, situations that devalue you, or outcomes that require you to abandon yourself to achieve them. Instead, you hold your frequency. You create space for what's meant to come. You know that what is yours cannot miss you, and what misses you was never meant to stay. And yes, this requires patience. Yes, this requires faith. But more than anything, it requires self-worth. An unshakable belief that you do not have to hustle for your place in anyone's life, for your shot at success, or for your sense of peace. Because when you operate from this level of alignment, you become magnetic. You start to see that the universe mirrors your self-perception. When you raise your standards, the energy around you rises too. You begin to attract people who respect your boundaries, opportunities that match your purpose, and experiences that reflect the love you've already given yourself. So you stop chasing, because you finally realize the most powerful version of you doesn't run after anything. They attract. And they attract not because they are lucky, but because they've done the inner work to know what they're worth. So repeat this to yourself like a sacred mantra. I don't chase. I attract what aligns with my worth. Not because you're entitled, but because you finally understand alignment is not about effort, it's about energy. And your energy becomes unstoppable when it flows from a place of inner knowing, not outer chasing. Number 4, discomfort is my classroom and I show up ready to grow. It's a mindset shift that separates the stagnant from the evolving, the ordinary from the extraordinary, the reactive from the resilient. Most people run from discomfort, treating it like a punishment, but the awakened understand that discomfort is a signal, a sacred invitation to level up. Growth never happens in the comfort zone. It happens when your back is against the wall, when the old you starts to feel too small, when life stretches you beyond what's familiar and asks you to rise into something greater. Discomfort is not the enemy, it's the assignment. It's the inner pressure that forms diamonds, the heat that forges steel, the resistance that builds muscle. Every challenge, every uncomfortable moment, every situation that makes your heart race or your hands shake is not here to break you, it's here to teach you. And when you show up with that mindset, you stop avoiding hard things and start engaging with them like sacred lessons. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Because discomfort teaches you where you are still triggered, where you still carry fear, where your boundaries need strengthening, where your self-worth still needs anchoring. It reveals the parts of you that are unfinished, unhealed, unchallenged, untested. And instead of shrinking from that truth, you face it. You lean into the discomfort like a student eager to learn, knowing that what feels heavy now will soon feel like strength. You begin to welcome uncomfortable conversations, not because they feel good, but because they're necessary. You willingly enter situations that stretch you, not because they're easy, but because they sharpen you. You sit with emotions that make you uneasy, not to suffer, but to understand. That's growth. That's transformation. The more you lean into discomfort with curiosity instead of fear, the faster you evolve. And that's the secret most people miss. Growth is not glamorous. It's messy, it's lonely, it's awkward, but it's sacred. And every time you show up, when it's inconvenient, when it's hard, when it challenges your identity, you are earning your next level. You are becoming the version of yourself that your future needs. So instead of praying for an easier path, pray for the strength to walk the one that grows you. Instead of wishing for comfort, ask for clarity, ask for courage, ask for the lesson. Because once you understand that discomfort is not punishment but preparation, you stop resisting it and start rising through it. And the more you grow, the less intimidated you become by life's tests, because you know they are shaping you into someone who no longer fears challenge, but welcomes it. Someone who doesn't just survive storms, but learns how to dance in the rain. So say it loud, say it often, and say it like a vow. Discomfort is my classroom, and I show up ready to grow. Because the soul that embraces discomfort becomes unstoppable, and the life that follows becomes unrecognizable. Number 5. I forgive myself for yesterday and choose grace today. Is a powerful act of self-liberation, a conscious decision to stop dragging your past mistakes into your present moment and weighing down your future with regrets you no longer need to carry. Every single person walking this earth has moments they wish they could rewrite. Words they shouldn't have said. Actions they wish they could undo. Times when they didn't show up as their best self because pain, fear, or confusion clouded their judgment. But healing begins the moment you stop punishing yourself and to become someone your younger self would be proud of. Let today be that choice. Let grace be the gift you stop withholding from yourself. Because your past may have shaped you, but it does not have to sentence you. And the future belongs to the version of you who finally learns to let go. Number 6, I am the standard, not someone's option or backup plan, is a bold affirmation of self-worth. A reminder that you were never meant to be tolerated, half-loved, or kept on hold until someone else made up their mind. You were meant to be chosen fully, valued deeply, and treated as the prize, not the placeholder. The moment you internalize this truth, you stop negotiating with people who can't see your value, stop chasing those who only reach out when it's convenient, and stop shrinking yourself to fit into roles that were never meant for someone of your magnitude. Being the standard means you don't wait for someone to finally realize your worth. You walk in it, live in it, and refuse to settle for anything less. It means you hold your head high, even when others overlook you. Because being overlooked isn't rejection, it's redirection. It means you stop interpreting someone's indecision as a reflection of your value and start seeing it as a reflection of their inability to meet you where you are. The standard doesn't beg, doesn't prove, and doesn't perform. It stands tall, rooted in dignity, self-respect, and unwavering clarity about what it deserves. When you become the standard, you raise the bar not just in your relationships, but in how you speak to yourself, how you treat your body, how you allow others to access your energy. You stop letting people breadcrumb you with inconsistent affection, vague promises, or delayed commitment, and instead you align only with those who meet you with intentionality, effort, and truth. Being the standard means you are no longer emotionally available to people who can't meet you at the level you've worked hard to rise to. It means you don't wait in emotional limbo, hoping someone chooses you someday. You choose yourself today, fully, without apology. And yes, that may mean being alone for a while. It may mean letting go of the almosts, the maybes, the if-onlys. But that space you create, it becomes sacred ground where your real worth begins to bloom. Because once you stop seeing yourself as a backup plan, The universe stops sending you people who treat you like one. You start attracting those who match your frequency, your self-love. You start living in such a way that even your presence feels like a privilege, not because of ego, but because of earned confidence. You have survived too much, grown too far, and healed too deeply to go back to accepting crumbs when you were made for the feast. So declare it now, and declare it loudly. I am the standard, not someone's option or backup plan. Not just in love, but in friendships, in how the world meets you. Because when you carry yourself like the standard, the world eventually rises to meet your level or gets left behind. And that's how you honor the divine within you, not by settling, but by standing firm in your knowing you are enough, exactly as you are, and you deserve nothing less than full presence, full commitment, and full recognition. Number 7, my focus is my freedom. I don't waste energy on what I can't control. It's not just a mindset, it's a strategy for inner peace, a shift from survival mode to empowered living, a declaration that you are no longer available for emotional chaos, mental clutter, or the draining illusion that you must fix, chase, or manage everything and everyone. So many people live exhausted not because they are doing too much, but because they are focused on the wrong things. They obsess over how others see them, worry about outcomes they can't influence, argue with opinions that don't matter, and try to force situations that are not aligned. But real power begins the moment you reclaim your focus. Your energy is your currency. What you give attention to grows. So why pour that energy into things that rob you of your peace? When you focus on what you can control, your mindset, your boundaries, your responses, your effort, you step into alignment. You stop being a prisoner of circumstances and start becoming the master of your space. This doesn't mean you're passive or indifferent. It means you're wise enough to know the difference between concern and control, compassion and codependency, purpose and perfectionism. You stop chasing closure where it won't be given, stop expecting apologies from those incapable of growth, and stop needing approval from people committed to misunderstanding you. Instead, you redirect your energy inward into your goals, your growth, your healing. You protect your focus like it's sacred because it is. Your focus determines your quality of life. When your focus is scattered, your peace is shattered. But when your focus is clear, your path becomes unstoppable. You don't react to every trigger. You don't engage every conflict. You don't try to control outcomes. You learn to control your outlook. You choose stillness over urgency, direction over distraction, and purpose over pettiness. And in that space of clarity, you find your freedom. Not because the world becomes easier, but because you've become centered. When the noise gets louder, you get quieter. When the chaos swirls, you stay grounded. Because now you understand, anything that costs your focus is too expensive. You no longer participate in cycles that steal your energy and offer. You no longer sacrifice your peace to win arguments, to fix people, or to prove your worth. You've outgrown the need to control and stepped into the power of conscious choosing. So let others do what they will, say what they want, believe what they must. That's not your lane. Your lane is elevation. Your lane is discipline. Your lane is peace. You stay in your lane and your energy stays intact. So today and every day forward, say it with unwavering certainty. My focus is my freedom. I don't waste energy on what I can't control, because the moment you protect your focus like your future depends on it, is the moment you stop surviving and start thriving in your own power. Number 8, everything I need is already within me. I just need to act like it. It's the awakening truth that ends the search outside of yourself and calls you back home to the power you've always carried, even when you forgot it was there. We're taught from a young age to seek validation, guidance, strength, and security from external sources, parents, teachers, society, relationships, even success itself. But the moment you realize that your inner world holds the keys, the answers, and the resilience you've been chasing, you stop begging for what you already possess. You stop doubting your instincts, stop waiting for someone to save you, and stop holding your breath until the world gives you permission to rise. Inside of you is courage, waiting to be claimed, wisdom, waiting to be trusted, and creativity, waiting to be expressed. Your intuition is not broken. It's buried beneath layers of fear, conditioning, and overthinking. Your strength has not disappeared. It's been waiting in silence, watching to see when you'll stop playing small and step into your truth. When you act like everything you need is already within you, you take responsibility for your healing, your choices, and your growth. You stop saying, "I don't know how," and start saying, "I'll figure it out." You stop saying, "I'm not enough," and start asking, "What part of me have I not activated yet?" You stop trying to become someone else, and you start becoming more of who you are. This mindset doesn't mean you don't seek help or guidance, but it means you recognize that help is a tool, not a replacement for your own inner knowing. It means you use support as a bridge, not a crutch. You understand that while others can inspire you, mentor you, even love you, they cannot awaken your power for you. That is your job. And when you act like everything you need is already inside you, you begin walking differently. You speak with more authority, not from arrogance, but from alignment. You move with intention, not hesitation. You stop performing for approval and start living in your truth. Even if it's quiet, even if it's misunderstood, even if it takes time. And yes, it takes courage, because claiming your inner power means taking ownership of both your potential and your excuses. But the freedom on the other side of that choice, unmatched. Because once you stop outsourcing your power, no one can ever hold it hostage again. You become your own validation, your own compass, your own motivation. You realize you are not lacking, you are layered. And every layer you peel back reveals more of the greatness you were born with. So say it until you believe it. Live it until you embody it. Everything I need is already within me. I just need to act like it. Because the version of you acts like it, that version builds empires, breaks cycles, and becomes unstoppable. Not because they were given power, but because they finally remembered they already had it. Number 9, today is not just another day, it's another opportunity to rise. It's a mindset that reclaims the power hidden in the ordinary. A reminder that every sunrise is a sacred invitation to become more intentional, more resilient, more alive than you were yesterday. Too many people wake up on autopilot, scrolling, complaining, rushing through routines, forgetting that the very fact they open their eyes is a gift denied to millions. But the ones who rise above the noise, the ones who change their lives, are the ones who treat each morning like a blank canvas, not a recycled rerun. This day, right here, right now, is a door, not a dead end. It doesn't matter how yesterday ended, how far behind you feel, or how dark things looked last week. What matters is that life gave you another chance to rise, to show up, to course correct, to plant something powerful in the soil of this moment. Rising doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it's quiet discipline. Sometimes it's choosing peace over proving a point, showing up when you feel unseen, doing the hard thing even when no one claps for you. Rising means becoming more of who you're meant to be, even when the world pulls you toward who you used to be. even when the world pulls you toward who you used to be. It means waking up and deciding, I will not waste this breath. I will not squander this time. I will not let the weight of the past steal the potential of today. Every challenge is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you're not the same version you once were. Every setback is a setup for the comeback you're capable of. You rise when you remember your vision, your worth, your why. You rise when you honor your standards, even when it's lonely. You rise when you refuse to let fear talk you out of action. And it's not about being perfect, it's about being present. Being aware that this day, this hour, this minute can shift your entire trajectory if you choose it with clarity and courage. Some people will waste today in bitterness, comparison, or distraction. But you've decided that today is sacred. You've decided that mediocrity isn't your destiny. You've decided that the version of you that's been quietly growing through the storms deserves to rise into the light now. So stand taller, speak bolder, love deeper, focus sharper. Do not wait for life to hand you the perfect moment. This moment is the invitation. Let it not pass like background noise, but meet it like a warrior meets a battlefield, with presence, purpose, and power. Say it to yourself until it becomes your truth. Today is not just another day, it's another opportunity to rise. Because when you live like each day matters, you begin to build a life that truly does. And when you rise today, you rise for every version of you that once didn't believe it was possible.